Hello and welcome to the Mailbox Rogues Gallery, the fortnightly podcast where we take a figure from history and pop them in our metaphorical mailbox of rogues. My name's Burch.
And my name's Sean, and you will find us this episode. We are actually working a new job that's been set up by a friend of mine, Badminton Jones. We are working as attendants in an art gallery. How are you enjoying the job so far, Burch?
Yeah, it's all right. It has its perks. You know, the building has a toilet for one. You know, that's useful.
That is nice. That is lovely, actually. And we can sleep in the gift shop overnight. I mean, they don't know about that, but that doesn't harm them.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Well, I must say I'm very excited to be working here. We're actually closed at the moment. There's a big event being set up this evening. We're going to have a fantastic Andy Warhol retrospective.
Yeah, well, I think it's worth mentioning just before we start as well, in the true spirit of Andy Warhol, we went out and found some of the interesting people and faces on the street to try and get them here to the art gallery for the showing tonight. So, you know, we've found all sorts of people from all walks of life. You know, get a good crowd going, because I think one problem with art is there's a lot of snobbery.
And elitism.
So we've basically invited a load of people where that is definitely not the case.
And of course, we'll have those familiar faces. We'll have the head of the gallery. I think we've actually got somebody from the National Arts Council will be joining us as well. But we just thought it'd be really important, in the spirit of Andy Warhol, to kind of mix them up with the people who are living on the edges of society. Because Andy Warhol famously surrounded himself by all sorts of people who were kind of considered freaks at the time in society.
Yeah.
We've kind of tried to run with that spirit in terms of the people we've invited.
That's absolutely right. And I'm going to be a bit honest. When we finished handing out all of those flyers, when I started totting up how many people are going to be there tonight, it kind of worried me a bit, considering before this I've had absolutely no interest in art.
It is going to be busy. I think, to be honest, some of the people we invited maybe were just drawn in by the fact that there's going to be some champagne and free food, but we'll see how that goes. But let's have a little bit of a chat about Andy Warhol so we can kind of know what we're talking about this evening.
Sure thing. So, Andy Warhol, he was born on the 6th of August 1928 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Not the famous New York City that he's so commonly associated with. He was the son of
Slovakian immigrants.
I believe they were. I don't know them personally, but I believe that is what they were.
You know, the first thing I want to chuck in here is, having done a bit of research, I felt a little bit silly for not having known this, but did you know that he was bald?
No, you know what? I thought the same thing as well. Whenever I saw pictures of him, I thought, oh, lovely head of hair, always, throughout his entire life. It's like, what? It's a wig?
Well, it was actually a series of about 40 wigs.
Yeah.
He started going bald in his 20s, and yeah, I was reading these articles and they were saying, oh, Andy Warhol's famous wigs. Famous wigs? I didn't know that his wigs were famous or that he was even famously bald. But I think it apparently was one of those things where, like, if you know, there's an uncanny valley with a hairpiece, isn't there, whereby it might not look enough like hair and people go around, oh, I think that's maybe a wig. But if you make it look so much like a wig, I think this was his thinking, if you make it look so outlandishly like a wig, then people will say, well, it can't be a wig because nobody would get a wig that looks so outlandish as that.
It made me consider getting a wig for myself, to be honest.
Do you know, I've always thought you would look good with like a 2-foot afro.
You know what? After this, I think I'll buy one. I think I'll go online and find a nice afro wig for myself.
Don't go online. Don't worry, I've got one. I've also got a series of about 40 wigs.
Oh.
Unlike Andy Warhol, they're not all like silver though. Well, what colour afro do you want? That's the question. Let's start from there.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I want to go for something a bit different. So, like, my hair's brown.
Well, I've got this one that's kind of an oaky colour. I've got this one that's like mahogany. This is also a kind of woody shade. This one's like a kind of teak. Any of these taking your fancy?
No. Come on, something very different. Come on.
Very different. Okay, electric blue. What about this electric blue one I've got?
Now we're talking. Give that bad boy here.
So, do you know what? That looks great on you. Look, here's a mirror. Take a look.
God, I look 10 years younger.
It'd probably take you 10 years to grow that much hair, so... Well, I think you look stunning. Will you wear it tonight for the opening?
Absolutely, 100%. And you know what? With these wigs, maybe if we dress up a little bit fancier, a bit more eccentric, a bit hip, maybe we could get our own sort of factory going, as Andy Warhol did with his superstars, as he called them.
I like the idea of this. I picture it now, right? People are not going to be looking at the walls. Nobody's going to be looking at Andy Warhol. It's just going to be me and you, and then just like a kind of crowd of people murmuring, just like wanting to talk to us, ask us about our lives, and yeah, we can get a few hangers on and bring them into the fold, have an inner circle. I love it. I love it. I mean, I tell you what, do you know what will complement that electric blue afro perfectly for you?
Go on.
Now, I found this earlier out by the bins. Now, I know that doesn't sound great, but...
No, it's not off to a great start, I'll be honest.
No, but look at this, right? It's a pinstriped purple suit with a cane.
Oh.
And I also found these, like, bejeweled rings as well. I mean, I don't know what they're doing out by the bins. Possibly somebody, needed to don a disguise or ditch a disguise.
Right. I mean, yeah, the quality of this purple suit with this fine cane...
Pretty nice, eh? Do you want to try it on? Get the waistcoat on first, obviously.
Yeah, hang on. Let's just get dressed up.
Oh, my God. You cut a figure in that.
Yeah?
You look fantastic. And it complements the electric blue afro so well.
A electric blue afro, purple, vibrant suit, a nice cane...
Give the cane a little swing. Yeah, give that a little swing as you're walking around.
How about that, eh?
Very fancy. Very fancy. Very nice.
You know what? This is the first job that I think I've been genuinely excited for, that I think could actually improve our lives.
Yeah, no, first the toilet, and now we've got you dressed as a pimp. Fantastic.
As a what?
Oh, no. Well, there's a somewhat resemblance. If you've ever seen any, like, Pam Grier films, you might recognise yourself.
No, people won't make that association with me, surely. But
who knows? Look, you're obviously not a pimp.
Well, no, clearly not. I'm an upstanding citizen.
Well, with a blue afro like that, I should think so. So you mentioned the word factory a couple of times. That's what Andy Warhol called his various art studios in New York. He had people living there, he made films there, he did art there, of course. He had all these famous people hanging out with him. David Bowie, Mick Jagger, Madonna, John Lennon, Liza Minnelli, Yoko Ono, Lou Reed, of course. Actually, he was, of course, very involved in Lou Reed's band. He financed and produced the album and provided the iconic album cover for the band, which was, of course, the Dandy Warhols.
Yeah, that's right. Another thing I saw... to do with Lou Reed. Lou Reed actually made basically like a little album just for Andy Warhol.
Did he?
Yeah, that's right. Like the songs haven't been released anywhere else. It was just literally just for Andy's ears only. The recordings were actually discovered like in the Warhol Museum archive.
Well, I want to listen to it now.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe after if this thing is a big success, this gallery tonight, maybe we'll kind of push us up into the elite and we'll be able to hear it.
Oh, yeah. Once we're art world elites, when we're in that stratosphere, surely somebody's going to be like, oh, mate, have you heard this? Lou Reed, Andy Warhol album. Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, I would give anything to hear a secret album by Lou Reed because I absolutely love Lou Reed's music. I mean, he's one of the best.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the greats.
Oh, all the classic songs. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then, of course, there's Sex Bomb, Sex Bomb.
Hang on. That's not Lou Reed.
What are you talking about?
No. You're thinking of Tom Jones.
Tom Jones, are you sure?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. The guy you're thinking of, does he also do Delilah?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely Tom Jones. No, Lou Reed's this kind of like flat singing New Yorker who was part of, the counterculture, dabbled with transvestism, had a very famous solo career, but of course, as we established earlier, started off as the lead singer of the Dandy Warhols.
What songs did he do then?
Walk on the Wild Side, Perfect Day.
Oh, that dross. Ugh.
No, not a fan. You prefer Tom Jones?
Yeah. If it was an album from Tom Jones to Andy Warhol, I would have been much more interested. But,
well, lucky for you, it's a secret album, so you'll probably never hear it anyway.
I'm glad of that.
Now, we talked about his factory, his art studio.
Yeah.
He called it his factory because he saw art as something that could be mass produced. And his art often focused on consumer items, obviously famously the Campbell's soup can. And I was just wondering, like, if you had a factory, what would you make? He made art in his. Because I was thinking for me, right, here's this, right?
Yeah.
I'd make bank vaults. I'd have a factory that makes bank vaults, right? And then here's the trick, right?
Yeah.
You put a secret trapdoor in the bottom of every bank vault that you make, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And then when it gets fitted in the bank, nobody but you, and now, well, nobody but me and now you, knows about this secret trapdoor. So all you have to do is just dig a tunnel under the bank where they'd least expect it, and then just open that trapdoor, go in and get all the money.
Wow, that's sort of brilliant.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I guess you couldn't do it too many times, though, thinking about it, because...
No, I think you could just keep doing it. Because also, the more money you steal, the more factories you could build. Therefore, the more bank vaults you could make. Therefore, the more banks you could rob.
I guess, but if they get to a point where it's like, right, okay, we're investigating these 100 bank vaults that have all been robbed, all of which have been made by Kennelly Bank Vault Industries. I wonder, you don't think there's some kind of connection, do you, between the fact that they've all been manufactured by the same company?
Yeah.
I reckon that's the one flaw in the plan, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, maybe after 100 I stop and just buy an island.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, police famously don't look after 100.
And if the police ever do come a-calling, I'll have a trapdoor ready.
Right, on the island.
Yeah.
Right, I see. Maybe I could get in on this. Maybe if my factory could make trap doors for bank vaults.
Yeah, there you go. That's the first good idea you've had this year.
I think it is. I mean, although that would be very hard to justify when, unless I guess you lend me the money, because I can't exactly go to a bank.
This is the problem: is we need the trapdoor. We need the bank's money to fund the trapdoor factory, to build the trapdoors, to put in the bank vaults, to rob the vaults, to get the money to fund the trapdoor factory.
Yeah, it's a real chicken and the egg situation, isn't it, really? What comes first, the bank vaults or the trapdoor?
All right, well, maybe, once we're elites in the art world, people will just be chucking money at us. We'll start from there.
That's true. Have you seen some of the money that, granted after his death, some of his artwork has been making? It's like in the millions of dollars, Andy Warhol stuff.
Who, Andy Warhol?
Andy Warhol, yeah, you know Andy Warhol?
No, but he just did pictures of bananas and like, he did one of Madonna or Marilyn Monroe or whoever it was, and just in different colours. That's not art.
It is to some people, I guess. Some people are idiots, Sean.
Right, well, I mean, all of the descriptions and copy that I've written out, put on little placards next to all the art in the gallery for tonight's opening, maybe I better go change that, because I've mostly just written, look what he's done this time. He's taken a picture of Elvis and done it a few times. Oh,
yeah, no, Sean, come on. We want tonight to be a success. We don't want him to look like this guy is an amateur.
A chancer.
I mean, the Elvis one clearly was a faulty printer. I mean, you can see that, I can see that, but we don't want the general public to know that, do we?
No, and he had a good trick, actually. He just used to say that, like, all the imperfections and mistakes, they were part of the process. So all of the times that the image was a bit blurry or the colours blurred or whatever, he was just like, oh yeah, no, I did that deliberately. That's part of it.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of my stint as an artist.
Yeah.
You know, I remember once I was like in an art class, just like painting away. It was going really well. Then all of a sudden, I sneeze.
And you shat yourself.
I shat myself. That's right. Oh yeah, I forget. Yeah, you were the model in that art class, weren't you?
Oh yeah, no, I remember now. Yeah. Yeah,
you were the only one who noticed, because you looked at me and started sniffing. I just gave you a look like for shut the fuck up. All right, this is my first art class, and I don't want to get a reputation right off the bat.
No, that's how we met, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we locked eyes. I think we bonded in that moment in a way.
That's good to hear. But so, as you might recall, I was there, and then when I sneezed and shat myself, my hand kind of like jerked up with the brush in it, and it looked like I completely ruined the painting, and I was, oh, for fuck's sake. And then the art teacher came along, and he was like, what the hell have you done here? And like it was clearly ruined. Like the painting, it was a painting of you, of course, and then it, like all of a sudden this big black line across it, and I couldn't think of what to say. I didn't want to say I sneezed and shat myself and made a mistake on the canvas, so I literally just said, "Oh well, that's my art. That's how I interpret things.
Yeah,
that's just it's not a mistake." And then the teacher went, I think you've really got something here, James. This looks fantastic.
And he offered to buy the piece, didn't he?
He did. He absolutely did. And then from that point on, I thought, how far can I take this? On the drive back home, there was an ugly car parked like just in front of me as I was driving along. I decided to like crash into the car.
Oh yeah.
Full speed.
Yeah.
Airbag kind of deployed, hit me in the face. I got out of the car. All these people came along and just like, well, what the hell's going on? Why did you crash into that car? And then I was like, well, it's my art. This is like an art piece. Like, what's art about this? I was like, look, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that it's not art. I mean, there's a lot of highbrow conceptual ideas.
Yeah.
Like that. And then these people were just like, oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, okay.
Well, and then a guy in a tweed suit in a Rolls Royce happened to be driving by, and he stuck his head out and said, £500.
That's right, yeah. Like these rich people, when they hear that, it's like ringing a dinner bell to a rich person. Say, oh, this is art. You wouldn't understand this. It's a bit highbrow. It was actually a lot more than £500. I'll say it was more like £50,000, which was great because it was more than the total of my car, and I'm sure the one that I crashed into.
Wow, yeah.
And so I was just doing that. I was like walking around supermarkets, throwing shit everywhere, saying, "That's my art. This is my art. There's my art." I'd be like going down to the park, with a shovel and just like digging up all the turf, stopping the kids from playing. They'd be crying. Their parents would come running over going, "What the hell do you think you're doing? My kids are playing in this park." And I'd be like, mate, come on, it's my art. Like this is what I do. It's like just because you're too lowbrow to understand the machinations of my artistic flavour doesn't mean that you can come here and have a go at me. This is my art.
No, and it got you out of a lot of jams, I'm sure, because nobody wants to come across as a pleb in a situation like that. Nobody wants to feel like intellectually inferior. So I imagine everybody just suddenly starts going, oh, I see it now. Yes, I see it. Yeah. Yeah,
that's right. Although I will add, in that instance where I kind of fucked up the children's play park, the dad did punch me in the nose. So I sort of stopped there.
Well, that was his art. And that was his expression.
You know what? That is exactly what he said. I said, "What the fuck did you do that for?" He's like, "Yeah, that's my art." And I couldn't argue with him after that. I said, "I take your point," and that's when my days as an artist ended.
Now, this actually leads me back around to some of Warhol's stranger art pieces. Do you know about his piss paintings?
Somehow I must have missed his piss paintings.
No, I'd done a fair bit of research on Andy Warhol before I even got to the piss paintings. So in the late 70s, he sort of began exploring this new abstraction in his art. What he did is he developed some new techniques, and he called them his oxidization series. And what he did is he would like get a canvas and he'd just like slaver it with like copper paint, and then what he'd do is he'd get his friends, some of these hangers on at the factory, to just stand over the canvas and just piss on it, basically. And then it would produce this chemical reaction. The acid in the urine would make the paint kind of like bubble and clump and bring out textures and new colours. And that is like one of his famous series of pieces, the oxidization series.
Right. And when you say the painting would clump, do you mean that it would look like of course, the famous family from everyone's favourite 90s comedy film, The Nutty Professor, the Klumps?
Yes, it did, of course. When I say clump, I'm, of course, referring to Sherman Klump, played by Eddie Murphy in the film The Nutty Professor.
Played beautifully by Eddie Murphy, we should add.
Yeah, and, of course, the sequel, The Nutty Professor 2, The Klumps, featuring an extended family, of which he played all but one.
As we have mentioned before, the famous Nutty Professor duology.
Yeah, a pinnacle in the art world, I would actually say, since we're talking about art. Just the scene in Nutty Professor 2, The Klumps, just the scene when they're farting at the dinner table. Just all of them, one by one, trying to outdo each other. Eddie Murphy in fat suit after fat suit after fat suit, sometimes in drag, sometimes not. To have been a fly on the wall on the set that day.
I could only imagine. I mean, they say that the mark of a great piece of art is that it changes with you. You see it in new ways. So, like, you know, when I do my bi-yearly watch of both Nutty Professor films, you know, I get new things from it every time. You know, sometimes it's repulsion, but other times it's like a feeling of enlightenment.
Oh, enlightenment. Wow. That is a strong reaction, enlightenment.
I feel like as their colons are cleansed, I feel like so is my soul.
That's incredible. I mean, some people spend decades of their life searching for enlightenment through meditation, transcendental thought.
Yeah, none of that's needed. All you need, if you got a spare 4 hours, just watch those films.
Yeah, you should start a religion around this. You could really get...
Klumpism.
Klumpism. Again, when we're in the artistic elite, maybe that's something we can get the ball rolling on.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Well, I mean, going back to the piss paintings as well, should we introduce that tonight, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a few. Yeah, I've got some.
If we've got like a few spare canvases, maybe we could have a wall, which is just like a dedicated piss wall, basically, for the patrons.
Well, yeah, but you need some on the floor as well for the ladies.
Well, tell you what, I saw like a load of blank canvases in the back there. Rather than having this horrible original wooden floor, why don't we just like put all of these canvases like all over the floors?
All over the floor, yes. And then the floor is a canvas.
Exactly, yeah. We're living our life as art.
We could close off the toilets, just put out of order,
yeah.
Put a little sign up, and we could just say, we'll have a sign on the door that says, by the way, the floor is a canvas. If you want to take a piss anywhere you want, go for it.
Yeah. Sign that says out of order. You're out of order if you think you're going to deprive the world of your art. Don't be so down on yourself. Go out there, take a piss on the floor, take a shit on the floor, you know.
Well, no, hang on. Let's not go too far.
No?
Let's see how we go with the piss first. Is it time to it's nearly 7:00. We must have the gallery opening soon. If we're going to get all these canvases down, we've only got about 20 minutes. Yeah,
we've got to open up and get all of the people in. Hopefully it's a good crowd.
Okay, right. Well, let's get to work.
Oh, this is it's actually going all right. It's quite a nice crowd so far.
Yeah, we've done really well. Yeah, I mean, look, there's the mayor and his wife. We've got the Arts Council governor. We've got the head of the gallery, of course.
How do I look? Do I still look all right with my electric blue afro and my purple suit and cane?
Yeah. No, people, you're getting lots of glances, admiring glances as far as I can tell.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, this is going great. We've got all the local business owners and people really seem to enjoy themselves. I mean, obviously, Andy Warhol, you know, he's always going to be a draw and people always enjoy his art. But I think, personally, we've done a great job of organising and setting up this event.
I think we've finally found our calling.
Well, wouldn't this be great if we could just stop running from the law? You know, because every episode we seem to get ourselves in some sort of jam. Somebody gets upset with us, and then before we know it, we're fleeing again. And wouldn't it just be so good if we could just stop and breathe and actually enjoy life and focus on this as a career?
This is it now. I can feel it in my bones. This is our life now.
Well, I share that sentiment. Look, why don't we just wrap up the podcast? So thank you for listening, everybody. This has been the Mailbox Rogues Gallery. You can, of course, email us if you've got any comments or suggestions. mailboxroguesgallery@gmail.com, and you can reach us on Twitter at mailboxrogues and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Mailbox Rogues Gallery.
That's absolutely right. And of course, you can also listen to us in a number of different places: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere that you get your podcasts. And while you're there, if you could leave a like, a subscribe, a comment, a share,
a rating,
anything that could help boost the popularity of the podcast, which I'm guessing is now going to be our side hustle to our main job, which will be art gallery dealers and owners. Oh, and also, not to forget, we also have a Discord where you can create a loving community of art lovers and Mailbox Rogues Gallery lovers. So you can find the link to that in our link tree.
Oh, hang on, Burch. Some of the other people we invited today are just coming in.
Oh, so they are. Oh my god, it's just getting better and better.
Look, we've got some of the drag queens we met earlier on the corner. There's some prostitutes as well. We had a nice chat with them earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look, they've rounded up some of their friends from some of the sex clubs. We've got the dominatrixes. There's a couple of gimps coming in.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Oh, this really is starting to feel like the factory now, isn't it?
Yeah, look, there's some of my old prison friends. Oh, there's some of your prison friends as well. We've got a lovely group of ex-cons here. There's that encampment of homeless people that we met down by the river.
Yeah. Sean, have a look over there. Are they? Those ex-cons aren't starting trouble with those art critics down there, are they?
Well, there's a bit of friendly banter going on by the looks of it, and I think they're doing all right.
I don't know. One of them's towering over the other one.
Well, maybe we'll keep an eye on that. But
yeah,
there's actually still people coming through the door. I didn't mention this earlier, but I did actually nip out again, and I invited the local circus. So we've got some of the clowns coming in, and some of the fire breathers, like the kind of pyromaniac people. Very bohemian, in the spirit of Andy Warhol. Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. The place is really starting to smell like piss.
Yes, yeah, I was thinking that myself. Yeah, they're making some good use of the canvases. Oh, Sean, did you put up a sign that said it was just piss for the canvases?
I said just piss, yeah.
Oh, well, maybe it's just my eyes, but I swear that's a few dollops of shit over there on one of the canvases.
Don't worry, the smell of piss will drown that out.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Actually, the gallery owner is I can't make out what he's saying over the crowd, but he's mouthing something. He looks a bit upset.
Yeah, the atmosphere's just kind of like turned on a dime. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have thought this is the art crowd that they wanted. The mayor's looking really upset. The mayor's wife looks very upset.
Oh my god, who's this coming up? I think it's one of the homeless people.
Right, mate, you said that there'd be some food about.
Oh, there was a waiter with some cucumber sandwiches. Is he still about?
No, mate, cucumber sandwiches, you must be joking. We got through those in seconds. Look, there's about 150 of us here, homeless people. We're starving. Just going to feed us a couple of fucking cucumber sandwiches. Where's the rest of the scran?
Well, I mean, that's sort of it. I mean, it's not an all-you-can-eat buffet, mate. It's an art gallery. You're meant to be here taking in the art. You're meant to be putting the art down your throat, not the cucumber sandwiches.
Mate, I'm going to be putting my fist down your throat if you don't get us some more fucking food right this instant.
Well, I mean, we don't have any more food.
I'm going to ask you one more time. You get some food, or else.
Oh yeah? Or else what? I'm in the art world now. Nothing can touch me. Ah, my nose! Oh.
Whoa, calm it down, guys.
Right, lads, I said there's no food here. Come on, you know what to do.
What the hell does that mean?
Oh, for God's sake. Oh my god, they're fighting now.
Oh, they're tearing at the walls, those priceless Warhol prints.
Oh my god, I told you we should have wrapped them in cellophane.
Oh fuck, look. They're chatting to the pyromaniacs from the circus.
Oh no, oh well.
Oh, the fire breathers. But why did they bring all the kerosene with them?
I mean, you asked for the circus to be here. I mean, they were going to bring their gear.
No, I thought they'd bring elephants.
Oh, they couldn't fit. Can't you see the elephants? They're sat outside waiting.
This is Look, the Lord Mayor's wife does not look happy.
No, she's been hanging from that chandelier for a good 2 minutes now.
And some of the dominatrixes seem to be whipping at her.
Oh, that's going to leave a mark.
Here, mate, you make me sick.
What? Me?
Yeah, you. I know what you do.
What do you mean you know what I do? I'm trying to run an art show tonight.
Look, mate, the purple suit, the cane, all these ladies of the night. You're a pimp, aren't you?
A pimp? Oh, come on, don't be so ridiculous. I'm just dressed flamboyantly. Those women aren't with me. I mean, I asked them to be here tonight, yes, but I'm not pimping hoes. That's not what I'm doing. I'm an artist, mate. I'm an artist.
That's no way to talk about women.
No, I don't call women hoes. I'm a feminist. I was just using your vernacular.
All right, it's on me now, is it? Oh, have one of these.
Wait, no. Oh, God.
Oh, mate, it's not your night, is it? I probably actually should have stepped in on that one, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should have. Oh, my God. I don't think my nose can take much more of a pounding.
Come on, let's Let's get you out of that purple suit.
No, I'm keeping the purple suit. Fuck what he says. Although, saying that, I think we should probably abandon our dreams of becoming art gallery owners, because this has turned into a real shit show real quick.
Yeah, no, it's obviously not for us. We've clearly done a terrible job of this and actually ruined the art gallery and a lot of priceless art paintings.
Yeah, so we should probably make a move, do our usual thing, go on the run, get into some other scrapes.
Head out the fire exit at the back.
Sounds good. Maybe we can take one of the elephants while we're at it.
Ooh, there we go. Do you know what? This whole thing would have been worthwhile if we get a ride on an elephant at the end of it.
Absolutely. Well, that about wraps her up. Who do you want to talk about next time?
Oh, well, why don't we sort of transition? We talked about an artist this week. We talk about another artist who's also a musician and just famous personality, Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono. That sounds great to me.
All right, give me a boost onto this elephant then. Whoa, Nelly.
Do you have any buns with you?
Yeah, I do actually. I just didn't want those homeless people eating them.
Oh, good. One for you, one for me, one for the elephant.
Till next time, listeners.
Goodbye.
Toodles.
Da 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 da.